In this video, I'm going to do a step-by-step tutorial on how to use Kraken Pro. If you're still brand new to Kraken, I do have a step-by-step beginner tutorial, and I'll leave a link for that video in the description down below for anyone that might find that helpful. In this video, I'm going to get straight into Kraken Pro. I'm going to show you the different market types and pairings, then I'll get you familiar with the user interface, where I'll show you how to place trades using limit orders, market orders, and how to set up some stop losses. After that, I'll show you where you can find the trading fees, an overview of your portfolio, and how to stake your assets through Kraken Pro to earn some passive income. All of that and more with some tips and tricks along the way. If this is your first time signing up on Kraken, I've left a link for you in the description of this video, as well as in the pinned comment down below. Sometimes Kraken is running promotions for people who are signing up for the first time, so feel free to use that link when signing up to see if there's a promotion available for you. I'll let you know that this is not a sponsored video and this video is not financial advice. This video is intended for educational purposes only. I've also left you some timestamps and chapters in the description down below, so at any point feel free to skip ahead to a section that might be most relevant to you. Aside from that, if you get some value out of this video, don't forget to leave me a like and hit subscribe. Let's get into the video. To toggle Kraken into Kraken Pro, simply come up here to the top right hand side of the screen and click on these dots. In this menu here, click where it says Kraken Pro. And this will bring you into the advanced user interface where you can buy and sell crypto using all the advanced features. First, I'll cover the different pairings and market types. To find your pairings, just come up here at the top left hand side of the screen and click right here, in my case where it says BTC versus USD. And here's where you'll find all the different pairings as well as the market types. In my case here, you can see that I'm currently set to USDT. This means that all these pairings displayed down below are quoted in Tether. If I sold a coin using these pairings, I'd be receiving Tether for the sale. And if I want to buy a coin using these pairings, I'd need Tether to make the purchase. You can change the market type by just simply coming up here and giving this a click. So in my case where it says USDT. Then click on the market type that you wish to trade. For example, if we click right here where it says USD, now all these pairings displayed down below are quoted in USD. So if we sold a coin using these pairings, we'd be receiving USD for the sale. And if we want to buy a coin using these pairings, we would need USD on our account. Simply choose the market type and then click on the pairing that you wish to trade. So I'm going to go ahead and click here and I'll select Tether and I'll go ahead and demonstrate by using BTC versus Tether. Now you can see that I've changed the pairing to Bitcoin versus Tether. You can also create a favorites list of your favorite pairings, and you can find that right down below here. So to add a pairing to your favorites, we'd come up here to our pairings, give this a click. And then what you would do is you would highlight the star next to the pairing you wish to add to your favorites list. So I'll go ahead and highlight the star next to BTC versus Tether. I'll close this out. Now when we come down below, you can see that I added Bitcoin versus Tether to my favorites. At any point, if you want to remove any of these, just simply uncheck the star. Like so, and as you can see, I just removed BTC versus USDT. Right here, we have our price action chart, and that's showing us the asset's performance over a selected time frame. You can find the time frames for the chart right up here at the top left-hand side, and in my case here, you can see that I'm currently set to a 4-hour. This means that each one of these candlesticks represents 4 hours of time. You can change the time frame by simply clicking on the time frame you wish to view. So if I wanted a daily, I'd click right here. Now each one of these candlesticks represents 1 day of time. You can find additional time frames if you just click on this little arrow next to the daily there. You'll get a little drop down menu, and here's where you'll find additional time frames. This chart is powered by TradingView. This means you're going to have access to some drawing tools as well as some basic TradingView indicators. You can find your drawing tools over here on the left hand side of the chart. Beside each drawing tool is a tiny little arrow. If you give that a click, it'll expand, and here's where you can find additional drawing tools. You can also build a tab of some of your favorite drawing tools as well by simply highlighting the star next to the drawing tool that you wish to add to your favorites. For example, let's go ahead and do a trend line. I'll add a horizontal. Let's come down here and we'll do a Fibonacci retracement. We'll come down here and I'll add a brush because I'll be using that later in this tutorial, and we'll go ahead and add a rectangle. As you can see, I've built a tab of some of my favorite drawing tools, and I can drag this anywhere on the chart that I want. If you wish to add an indicator to your chart, come right up here to the top, you'll find this little icon here and give it a click. Then you'll get a little pop-up window here displaying some of the basic indicators that TradingView has to offer. If there's something specific that you're looking for, you can search for it in the search bar. So if you wanted a relative strength index, we could type in RSI, click on the relative strength index, close this out. And as you can see, I just added the RSI to the bottom of the chart. If at any point I wanted to remove that, we'd come over here and we click on this little X, and I've removed the RSI. We can also adjust the appearance of the chart. The first thing I like to do is I like to grab onto this little line between the volume and the price action. I like to drag it down just a little bit like so, but certainly put that to your preference. If we want to change the appearance of the chart, we can right click on it and then come down here and click on settings. And in this pop-up window here is where you can adjust the appearance and some of the settings of your chart. In this window here, I typically don't change anything, but I do like to change the appearance. So I'm going to go ahead and click right here where it says appearance. And I like to get rid of the vertical grid lines as well as the horizontal grid lines. For my trading style, they're really not doing anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click right here and I'm going to drag the opacity all the way down to 0. Then I'm going to click on the horizontal grid lines and do the same thing, just like so. Then I like to click on this little box right here and choose a darker color like this. But what you can do is you can come in here and play around with the settings and get the chart looking the way that you like it. If you ever adjust something and you don't like the appearance or don't know what you did, you can always come down here where it says template, give that a click, and then click here where it says apply defaults. And then you'll get the chart back to its original settings. So feel free to play around in here and get things looking the way that you like it. At any point, you can always reset the defaults. So I'm going to go ahead and just retrace my steps here. I'm going to get rid of the vertical grid lines, horizontal, and I'm going to go ahead and do this. Okay, looking much better. But certainly take some time and get this looking the way that you like it. When it comes to charting and technical analysis, I prefer to use TradingView directly, and I'll just quickly drag it into frame. Here on TradingView, you're going to have access to way more indicators, more data. You can backtest strategies, look at different asset classes. There's just a heck of a lot more that you can do with TradingView by using it directly. And TradingView is free to use. The free version does have some pop-up ads that can be a little bit distracting, but it does work perfectly fine. My version here is a paid version, and if at any point you want to try one of their paid versions, you can do so for free for up to 30 days. And then you can make an informed decision if TradingView is a good fit for you or not. So what I'll do is I'll leave a link for TradingView in the description of this video as well as in the pinned comment down below. I also have a step-by-step beginner tutorial on how to set TradingView up and use it. So I'll leave a link for that video in the description down below for anyone that might find that helpful. Next to the chart right here, we have the order book. And the order book is showing us where market participants have placed buy and sell orders at. And they're doing this by using limit orders. And I'll be demonstrating order types in this tutorial. On the top side of the order book in red, we have what's known as the asks. These are the price points that market participants have placed sell orders at. Down here in green, we have what's known as the bids. These are the price points that market participants have placed buy orders at. When a trader comes along and executes a market order, they're matched up with the best available price from the order book and the trade is executed immediately. And you can view these trades in real time if you come up here and click on market trades. In the market trades tab, you can see trades being executed in real time. All the buys are going to come in green and all the sells will come in red. In the price column of market trades, you can see the price point that the trade was executed at. And over here under quantity, you'll be able to see the size of the trade that went through. When you want to get back to the order book, just simply click right here on the order book. And right next to the order book is where you'll find your order panel, where you can be a buyer or a seller using limit orders, market orders, and you can set some stop losses. And I'll demonstrate some of these. And I'll start by doing limit orders. A limit order is going to allow you to be a little bit more strategic by choosing a price point that you wish to be a buyer or a seller. And you'll be placing this order onto the order book. So the first thing we need to do is choose if we're going to be a buyer or a seller. So I'll start out by being a buyer here. And now we need to select a price point that we wish to buy. So let's head on over here to the chart. And for the purposes of demonstration, let's just imagine that we're interested in buying Bitcoin if the price was to retrace somewhere down around this pivot point right here. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and grab a horizontal here from my favorite drawing tools. And I'll go ahead and mark that pivot point out, something like this. Now we can see on the y-axis of the chart that there's a price point correlating to that horizontal coming in at 27,253. So let's head on over here to the order panel and we'll make sure we're set to limit and on the buy side. And right here in limit price, I'm going to type that price point in. So we'll go 27,253. Now we need to choose the amount of the asset that we wish to purchase or the amount of our balance we wish to spend if the price of the asset reaches our limit price. So we can do that by entering a quantity right here, or we can type in the total amount we wish to spend. And we can see our available balance right here, so we'll know exactly what we're working with. Alternatively, you can use this slider bar right here. So if I was to slide this up to 44%, that would be putting 44% of my available funds into this order. If I was to slide this back to 30%, that would be putting 30% of my available balance into this order. The next thing I like to do is come right down here where it says post only. You'll see when I hover over that, it says execute order with a maker fee by posting when it adds liquidity to the order book. And this is going to allow you to save on fees. Typically, exchanges try to incentivize traders to provide liquidity to the order book by using limit orders. So if I'm going to be using a limit order, I like to turn this on like so. This will ensure that I save on fees for using a limit order. Once you get the order set up the way that you want it, we'd come down here and click on buy. Now we've placed that order on the order book. And if we come back over here to the chart, we can actually see it on the chart itself. So I'll go ahead and just get rid of this horizontal like so. And here you can see the buy order that I've placed on the order book. We can also find the details of the order if we come down here to the bottom and click on open orders. And here's where we can review the details of our limit order. So in this case here, if the price of Bitcoin was to come down and hit my limit price, I'd be buying some Bitcoin. This order is going to stay on the order book until it either fills or I manually cancel it. So at any point, if you want to cancel this order, you could do so by clicking on this little X inside this box right here. Or you can come down here to your open orders, and over here on the right hand side, you can click on this little X right here. And you might get a little pop-up window to confirm that you wish to cancel the order, and we would just click on yes. Now as you can see, I removed that order off of the order book. Of course, we can use limit orders to sell our crypto as well. So for the purposes of demonstration, let's imagine that we want to sell if the price action gets up somewhere near this pivot point right here. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and mark that with another horizontal, and I'll do something like this. Good enough for this demonstration. Now we can see that there's a price point correlating to that horizontal on the y-axis of the chart, coming in at 30,551. So we'll come back over here to the order panel, and we're going to switch this from buy over to sell. And then in limit price, we're going to type that price point in. So 30,551. Now we need to choose the amount of the asset that we wish to sell if our sell price gets hit. So we can do that by entering a quantity right here, or we can do total in USDT in this particular situation, or alternatively, we can just use this slider bar here. So I'll go ahead and just slide this up to 100% for this demonstration. Of course, we'll come down here, make sure that the post only is on, and then we'll go ahead and click on sell. Now we've placed that sell order onto the order book. Once again, if we come over here to the chart, we can see it on the chart itself. We can also quickly amend our orders. So if I was to grab onto this box here, we can slide the order down like so. So if we wanted to move it down a bit like this, we'll get a little pop-up window here now, confirming the edit order details. So in this case here, I'll just go ahead and confirm by clicking here on confirm edits. Now, as you can see, I just moved that limit order down. If we wanted to move it up, we just grab onto it. Let's go ahead and slide it up to the top of that wick right there. Maybe something like this. Of course, we'll confirm the details. If it all looks good, we'd click on confirm edits. Now, as you can see, I moved that limit order to the top side of that wick. We can also find the details of that order if we come down here to open orders, and here's where we'll find the details of our limit order to sell our coins. This order is going to stay on the order book until it either fills or we manually cancel it. So if we want to cancel it, we could click on this little X over here on the right hand side, or we could come up to the chart and click on this X inside this little red box. I'll go ahead and click on yes. And as you can see, I just removed that sell order off of the order book. So as you can see, you can be a bit strategic when using a limit order, but you do need price action to cooperate. For example, in our buying scenario, maybe price action doesn't get down to our limit price. Maybe the price of Bitcoin just increases straight from here to the upside. And of course, we'd miss out on that because our order never got filled. Or perhaps prices to roll over here, coming down, hitting our limit order and filling our order, but then price just continues to the downside, and obviously that would put us at a loss. In our selling scenario, maybe price action doesn't reach up to our limit price. Maybe it rolls over right here and moves back to the downside. And of course, we'd still be holding onto the asset because our order never filled. Price action failed to reach our limit price. Or maybe price action comes up and just blasts right through there to the upside. And we'd miss out on that move because of course we sold right down here at our limit price. So just a couple basic considerations when choosing if a limit order is appropriate for your particular situation. Now I'll demonstrate a market order, and these order types are nice and simple. They're going to execute immediately for the best available price off of the order book. To use a market order, we'll come over here to the order panel. We'll choose if we're going to be a buyer or a seller. So I'll go ahead and start out as a buyer here. Next, we'll come right here where it says limit and give that a click. And then we'll select market from this drop-down menu. Now we would just simply choose the amount of the asset we wish to purchase. And I'll just go ahead and use this slider bar right here and I'll slide this up and I'll just do, say, 42%. Once you have this set up the way that you want it, you just simply click right here where it says buy. And that order executed immediately at the best available price from the order book. And it's the very same for selling. So if we click right here on sell, make sure we're set to market, choose the amount that you wish to sell. I'll just use the slider bar again. Then we'd come down here and click on sell. And as you can see, that trade executed immediately at the best available price from the order book. As simple as that. But you do pay higher fees for using market orders. Another thing to be aware of if you're placing market orders is what's known as slippage. We all know that cryptocurrency can get moving really quickly, whether that's to the upside or to the downside. If an asset begins to waterfall to the downside really fast, it's going to be chewing up all the bids in the order book really quick. If an asset begins to melt to the upside, the inverse is true. It'll be chewing up all the asks in the order book really quick. Remember, a market order is going to execute at the best available price from the order book. So if the price of the asset is moving really fast, you might not get the price point that you intended. And this is what's known as slippage. Typically, slippage isn't a big deal unless the market is really volatile. The other way that slippage could potentially affect you is if you yourself are trading with large sums of money, especially if it's on an altcoin with a thinner order book. If you're fat fingering large market orders with big sums of money, you yourself will be chewing up the orders in the order book. This could potentially change your average entry price, and it could change your average exit price if you're selling. Now I'll show you how to set up a stop loss. So what we'll do is we'll come over here to the order panel, we'll toggle it from buy over to sell. Then we'll click right here where it says market, and from this drop-down menu, we'll click where it says stop loss. Now we need to choose a price point that we wish to set our stop loss at. So let's head on over here to the chart. And for the purposes of demonstration, let's just imagine that we want to set a stop loss somewhere just below this wick right here. So what I'll do is I'll grab a horizontal from my drawing tools here, and I'll put it on the chart just slightly below that wick, maybe something like this. Good enough for this demonstration. Now we can see a price point correlating to that horizontal on the y-axis of the chart, coming in at 26,886. So let's head on over here to the order panel and we'll type that into trigger. We'll go 26,886. Now we need to choose the amount of the asset that we wish to sell if our stop loss gets hit. And for this demonstration, I'll just grab this slider bar here and I'll slide it up to 100%. Once you have your stop loss configured the way that you want it, you'd come down here and click on sell. Now we've placed that stop loss. And if we come over here to the chart, we can see it right here in this little box. Of course, we can amend that stop loss if we grab onto it and move it. So if we wanted to move it down just a little bit, grab onto it, we could drag it down like so. We'll get our little confirmation window here. If everything looks good, we just click on confirm edits. And as you can see, I just moved that stop loss down slightly. If at any point the price of the asset was to roll over here and come down, hitting the stop loss, my Bitcoin would be sold at the best available price. We can also see the price point correlated to the stop loss on the y-axis of the chart, and in this situation, that's coming in at 26,719. So if Bitcoin was to come down to the price point of 26,719, this stop loss would be hit, and I'd be selling all my Bitcoin. This stop loss will stay in place until it either gets hit or we cancel it manually. So if we want to cancel it, we just come on over here and we click this little X right here. Click on yes, and as you can see, I just removed that stop loss. As easy as that. Now I'll quickly show you a stop limit. To set up a stop limit, we'll come back over here to the order panel, we'll click where it says stop loss, and then we'll select stop loss limit. The first thing we need to do is choose a trigger price. This is going to be a price point that tells Kraken to place a limit order to sell our coins. So let's head back on over here to the chart, and for the purposes of demonstration, let's just go ahead and use this horizontal right here as our trigger price. So we can already see on the y-axis of the chart, there's a price point correlating to that horizontal at 26,886. So let's come over here to trigger price and we'll type that in. And as you can see, it's still in there from when I did the last stop loss. So if the price of Bitcoin was to decrease and come down to 26,886, that's going to trigger Kraken to place a limit order to sell our coins. So now we need to choose a limit price. So let's head back over here to the chart. And for the purposes of demonstration, let's just imagine that we want to set our limit price somewhere just below this wick right here. So I'll grab a horizontal here from my tools and I'll mark out an area just slightly below that wick, maybe something like this. Now we can see a price point correlating to that horizontal on the y-axis of the chart coming in at 26,443. So now we'll come back over here to the order panel and we'll type that into limit price. We'll go 26,433. And of course, we need to choose the quantity of the asset that we wish to sell if our trigger gets hit. So I'll just use this slider bar here. We'll go up to 100%. And then I'm going to click right here where it says sell BTC. Now we've placed that stop loss limit order. And we can see it right here on the chart, of course. Now there's a couple things to know about this. The first thing is I like to leave a little bit of breathing room between my trigger price and my limit price. If the price of the asset dumps really fast and manages to get below your limit price before your coins sell, it'll simply be placed as a limit order onto the order book. You won't actually sell your coins. You'll be waiting for the price to bounce to come back up to your limit price before this order fills and executes. And there's no guarantee that that will happen. The second thing to know is if price was to roll over and come down and hit my trigger price, my coins will sell for the limit price of 26,433 or better. If there's a better price point available in the order book when the trigger price gets hit, my coins will sell for a higher price. Basically, what you're telling Kraken is that if your trigger condition gets hit, you want to sell your coins for at least, in this situation, 26,443. You can find the details of your stop loss limit order if you come down here. Next to open orders, you'll see where it says conditional orders. Give that a click. And here's where you can see the details of the stop limit. Of course, we have our trigger price right here at 26,886. So if Bitcoin hits that price, it's going to trigger a sale for the price of 26,433 or better if there's a better price point available on the order book when the trigger price gets hit. At any point, if you want to cancel it, you can come over here and click this little X right next to the order. Click on yes. And as you can see, I just removed that stop loss limit order. You can find your portfolio on Kraken Pro by just simply coming up here and clicking on Portfolio. And here's where you'll find an overview. Up at the top, you'll find the total value of your portfolio, accompanied with a line chart that's showing you your portfolio's performance over a selected time frame. You can find the time frames for your line chart right up here at the top right-hand side, and just simply click on the time frame you wish to view. So if we wanted a 7-day, we'd give that a click. And now we're viewing a 7-day line chart. Right here on the Spot tab, you'll find the total value of everything that you're holding on your Spot account. Next to that, under Earn, you'll find the total value of all the assets that you've staked through Kraken Pro. Right below that, you'll see the total rewards that have been accruing over time from your staking. Next to that, you'll find the NFT tab, and this is going to show you the total value of all the NFT assets that you're holding on account. And then right down here, under Allocations, you'll find the individual assets that you're holding on account. If you'd like to deposit or withdraw crypto straight to Kraken Pro, you can find the deposit button as well as a withdraw button right over here. When you click on one of these options, you'll get a drop-down menu with the crypto that you wish to either deposit or withdraw, or you can search for it under Assets here. When you find the crypto that you wish to withdraw or deposit, you just simply click on it. Now, if this is your first time depositing or withdrawing crypto to and from Kraken, I'll invite you to watch my Kraken step-by-step beginner tutorial, where I cover this in more detail using the basic Kraken platform. If you deposit any assets to the basic Kraken version, they will show up in your Kraken Pro portfolio. So feel free to check out that video if you need any help with depositing or withdrawing crypto. So I'll just go ahead and close this out. If you'd like to stake any assets through Kraken Pro, you can just simply come right up here and click on Earn. On this page here, you'll see all the different cryptos that you can stake through Kraken Pro. When you're ready to stake any assets, you can click right here on Earn Now, and you can select the asset from this drop-down menu, or you can search for it in the search bar here. Alternatively, just click on the asset that you wish to stake. For example, I'll go ahead and click on Cardano. If you hold the asset on account, you'll be able to see your available balance right up at the top here, and you can just type in the amount that you wish to stake, or you can click on Max to stake everything. Right here, you can learn about the staking plan. So in this case here, Cardano is flexible and pays 3 to 6% APR. When the time comes to unstake Cardano specifically, unstaking takes up to 10 minutes. So you'll be able to see that kind of information on whatever asset that you're looking to interact with. Right down here, Kraken will give you a transaction overview, which will show you the rewards. So in this case here, Cardano pays once a week. Right here, it'll give you a date when your next reward is expected, and Kraken will even estimate your next reward right here. If you'd like to calculate rewards, you can always click right here where it says calculate rewards. And then Kraken will show you your rewards over a selected time frame. So right here, you can see that this is currently set to 24 months. And Kraken's letting me know that if I was to stake all 48.5 of my Cardano, I'd have 52 Cardano after a 24-month period. If you want to look at it on a different period, you can click right here. And now we're looking at a 12-month period. So you can always come in here and calculate your rewards before staking. If you wish to proceed with staking, just simply come down here and click on stake. And as you can see, just like that, staking has been initiated. So we just simply click on done. And now we can see the staked assets right here in our portfolio. If I wanted to unstake those coins, come to the asset that you wish to unstake, and over here on the right hand side, you'll find 3 little dots. Give those a click, then just simply click on unstake. Then you'll get a little pop-up window here showing you your balance that you have staked. And down here, you can type an amount that you wish to unstake, or you can just simply click on max to unstake all of them. Then come down here, click on unstake, and then confirm that's what you wish to proceed with. So I'll go ahead and click on unstake again, and unstaking has been initiated. So I'm going to go ahead and click on done. Once these coins are unstaked, which in Cardano's case can take up to 10 minutes, the coins will be back in my spot account. As easy as that. To find the fees on Kraken, you can do so from the main page here. And you can see that I'm set to my assets overview. Just scroll down to the bottom, and underneath resources here, you can come down and click where it says fees. On this page here, come on down to where it says Kraken Pro, and here's where you can see the trading fees. So currently, for maker orders, if you're trading with 0 to 50,000, you're going to be paying 0.16% on your trading fees. And that's if you're going to be placing limit orders with the post-only option checked. Over here under taker order, you're going to be paying 0.26%. So this is if you're going to be executing market orders. As you can see, the more that you're trading with, the less you're going to be paying in fees. Fees can also change, so I would suggest coming on over to this page and checking things out to see what the current fees are at. They could be different from when I made this video. So certainly worth looking into. And there you have it, your introduction to using Kraken Pro. If you got some value out of this video, don't forget to leave me a like and hit subscribe. Thanks so much for coming by and checking out this video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one, and until I do, have yourself a powerful day.